वंदे शंभुमुमापतिं सुरगुरुं वंदे जगत्कारणं वंदे पन्नगभूषणं शशिधरं वंदे पशूनां पतिं वंदे सूर्यशशांक वह्निनयनं वंदे मुकुन्दप्रियं वंदे भक्तजन आश्रयं च वरदं वंदे भक्तजन आश्रयं च वरदं वंदे शिवं शंकरं. My dear children, you have been clapping. Very good. Now I ask you to clap 1, 2, 3. When I say 3, you should clap only once. Okay? I say 3. 1, 2, 3. When I say 3 only, you clap. Please do as I say. Get ready. When I say, please be very, very careful. When I say 3 only, you should clap all in a single clap. 1, be ready. 1, 2, 2. I did not say 3. I said only 2. And why did you clap? I never asked you to clap when I clap. Did I say? No. I said you clap when I said 3. I never said 3. I said only 2. Why did you clap? Now you tell me the reason. Who is the culprit? Myself. I clapped saying 2. And you all automatically followed me. This is society. Parents ask you to be good, study. They will look at TV. Who will read? Mummy, daddy, look at the TV. You must read. Why should you read? You also read, then I will read. Your teachers, they never read. Any teachers here? They don't do what they ask you to do. What is it we want in society today? Example, not preaching. We want models, not preachers. We have plenty of preachers. Do this, do that. There is a parent. That parent is fond of Satya Harishchandra. You know the story? Great man, a foolish fellow. He does not know how to tell a lie. He speaks only the truth. And therefore, what is the problem? He suffered. He sold his wife and he lost his kingdom. Finally, his son also died. All problems because he told only truth. And your father, one parent, see great Satya Harishchandra, he does not tell a lie. He speaks truth. You should also be like that, my dear son, my dear daughter, he will say. And next he will say, my dear children, Mahatma Gandhi was in his school when he was a boy. DUO came. He asked a question. Gandhiji could not answer when he was a small boy. The teacher went there, wrote it. Come on, say it. Gandhi said, no, I will not copy. You must be like that. The father is telling story after story, and the boy or girl is listening. Just then there was a phone call. And the boy or girl lifted the receiver and, hello, father is asking, who is that fellow? And the child says, Daddy, it is house owner asking money. Then the father says, Tell him I am not here. First, what is the instruction? Be like Harishchandra. Yes, daddy. Be like Mahatma Gandhi. Yes, daddy. Now, tell a lie. Which is more impressive? Which registers in your mind? Not his lecture. What he does, we do. What the teachers do, we do. What the elders do, we do. We in society do not have models. Who are the models? Actors. Who are the models? Ministers who are corrupt. Am I right? How can we be good? But let us not say there are no models at all. We look at the photograph of Swami Vivekananda. Very handsome, very attractive, very powerful, very majestic, a great model, but who is to tell us about him? Nobody. Who is to live like him? Nobody. He has an excellent personality, very good personality. We should try to emulate him. There are, in English, 3 words. One, emulate, E-M-U-L-A-T-E. Number 2, imitate, I-M-I-T-A-T-E. Number 3, parody, P-A-R-O-D-Y. When you parody, you imitate, making mimicry. You make fun of him. You ridicule him. Now I am talking. You listen to me. After the talk, when we go down, you imitate me, how I laugh, how I look, how I speak. It is to make fun of me. What do we do in our hostels? We imitate our teachers to make fun of them. That is parody, P-A-R-O-D-Y. Imitation may be good, imitation may be bad. Emulate means you imitate him to become another Vivekananda. You imitate Gandhi to become another Gandhiji. That is worthy imitation, and that is personality development. Your yoga director Rajendran asked me to speak on personality development. Development is a simple word. Personality is a simple word. Now we have girls, boys. What do you understand by personality development? Please tell me. Anybody? What is it you expect? When you go to a hotel, you expect to eat something. What you want must be given there. Similarly, when you go to a school, you expect lessons to be taught. When you go to a college, you want your BA degree, BSc degree, or BCom degree. You expect. Similarly, when you come here for a talk, they told, I speak on personality development. What is it you expect? Personality development mein, what is it you are expecting? Come on, anybody? Nothing, no expectation. We are not going to give you tea, no coffee, no snacks. I don't know Rajendran if he has arranged. What is it you are expecting me to speak on? Personality development, what is it? What is it your expectation? Very good boy. He expects me to speak on moral values. Only that expectation. Anybody else? That boy expects moral values. 2. Anybody? Girls? What is it you expect? Don't you know moral values? Don't tell a lie. Everybody knows. Don't you know that? Why should you come here? Moral values we know very well. We should not scold elders. Yes, sir. We don't tell lies. Yes, sir. We should not copy in the examination. We know it, sir. We should not take bribe. Yes, sir, we know it very, very well, sir. What is moral value? Don't drink alcohol. I know it, sir. But we drink. You don't drink now. When you grow, moral values, we should not drink, we should not tell a lie, we should not copy in the examination. These are all called moral values. Should I say that? Don't you know that? Then what else your expectation? No expectation. No, sir, Rajendran asked us to come, sir. We came, sir. We sit, sir. We sleep, sir. We go, sir. Be saying something, sir. We will quickly go, sir. Why do you trouble us, sir? What is the expectation? Anybody else? We want character. We want to develop a character. We want you to speak on character. Am I right? Very good. Anybody else? Moral value, character, speech. Third. Good. Betterment of our behavior. Very good, girl. Fear. The children have fear, sir. They must overcome fear, sir. Overcoming fear is personality development. Am I right? Next. You count be one and all. Moral values, character, better behavior, and fearlessness. Nirbhayam. Bhayam le. Develop a good attitude. What is good? Not bad. What is good attitude? Bad, not a bad attitude. What is good? If I take coffee, good or bad? Some people, Rajendran says it's bad for your health, sir. Good, bad, don't say. What is it that you expect? Good attitude. What type of attitude? Good attitude means positive attitude. Okay, for some time. Positive attitude I must speak. Next. Anybody else? Fearlessness, positive approach. Next. Only this much. But my expectation is different. If I go to Yoga Kendra, Vivekananda Yoga Kendra, for personality development, I go to become trim, to slim, to become smart, to make my hair black, to make myself young. I must be dynamic. I must be growing tall. Now I am not 6 feet. I must become 6 footer. Now I have a belly. I don't want to have the belly. Therefore I go to Yoga Kendra for personality. What is personality? To be trim, right or wrong? To be slim, to be smart, to be tall, to have broad shoulders, to have dark hair, to have bright eyes, to have a powerful voice, and all put and said, I should be handsome. If it is a boy, what do you say? Handsome. If it's a girl, beautiful. Girls must be beautiful, boys must be handsome. To put it in a single word, girls must be attractive, boys also must be attractive. What is personality? Attractive. What is attraction? When I walk on the road, very handsome man. People should look at me and tell me. When you are going on the street, a girl is walking, boys, very beautiful. Beautiful, they should say. Then you have very good personality. What is our expectation? our expectation is to become attractive. Am I right or wrong? Huh? Very good. We like to be attractive. Who is that attractive person? What is it you see on the TV? An attractive actress, an attractive hero. If there is an ugly man, you don't feel like looking at him. You don't look at her. You must see an attractive person. When he or she is attractive, we call it personality. Amitabh Bachchan has personality. Am I right? And a beautiful actress, Bollywood. Very good personality. We, in our heart of hearts, have the desire to be attractive. Am I right or wrong? Very good. How to develop that personality? You come to Yoga Kendra, Rajendran will teach you. Every Sunday, come here. If possible, every morning, you come here. If you are 5 feet, he will make you 5.5. If you are 75 kilos, he will make you 45 kilos. If you are not growing tall, he will make you grow taller. He will make you slim. Personality development means physical personality. Is it okay? How to get? Next question. Today Rajendran is available, everywhere he is not available, then what shall we do? Beautiful body, handsome body, attractive body can be had if you take good food. What is good food? Small quantity. If you can take 4 chapati, cut 1 chapati, 3 only you take. If you are taking every day 3 chapati, take only 2. If you are eating 4 times a day, make it 3 times. If you are taking 3 times a day, make it 2 times. Reduce the number of times. Reduce the number of chapatis. Quantity also you reduce. Number of times you reduce. Quantity you reduce. You become slim. You become trim. Only that much, sir? No. Having eaten, you should exercise. Exercises 2 types. One, fast exercise. Your gymnasium, pull-ups, running race, high jump, long jump. These are all called fast exercises. But Rajendran here will not teach you fast exercises. Slow exercise. Slow exercises are called asanas. Fast exercises are called gymnastics. You go to a gymnasium for the brisk exercise. You will sweat quickly. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you get tired. You sweat profusely. But in the Yoga Kendra, even if you do the exercises for 1 hour, you don't sweat. You feel fresh. You don't get tired. Very simple example, you can stretch your hand and keep it like that for 10 minutes, you feel the blood circulation. As slowly as possible, you try to take the hand, take for half an hour, slowly from this position to the top position, you feel the full circulation of the body gets excellent energy. First, food. Reduce the number of times, reduce the quantity, and then you make the exercises. 2 types of exercises are available. First exercise is very difficult, brisk, tiresome. It gives you exhaustion. The second exercise is slow, steady, methodical, gentle. It has greater impact on the body. So food intake and exercise. 2. 3. Most important. Have you ever seen the sunrise? then you are not good students. Students should not see sunrise because you wake up at 8 o'clock. Every day, 45 minutes before sunrise, you wake up. Your eyes become very powerful. And when the sun is rising from behind the mountains, from behind the buildings, that rose large ball like sun, you look at him for 1 minute every day. Even at the age of 80, you don't require spectacles. No cataract. You can challenge now onwards. Every day, wake up in the morning, wait for the sun to rise. When that sun is rising slowly, before he becomes red, as long as he is orange-like, large, ball-like, you look at him. Then you develop attractive personality. Swami Vivekananda was fond of looking at the rising sun. That's why you find Vivekananda's eyes very large, very powerful, very majestic, very magnetic, very penetrating, very powerful eyes. Not only he, everybody can develop that and eyes will be healthy. Sun God is the giver of health. So physical personality, if you want to develop, if you want to be trim, smart, slim, attractive, handsome, beautiful, what is it you should do? Reduce the quantity of food, reduce the number of meals, and then do the exercise, preferably slow exercises, yoga practices for about 45 minutes in the morning, 45 minutes in the evening, and above all, look at the sun god, then you will become trim. Sir, is there anybody doing like that? Yes. You go to any actress, ask her, she does yogasanas. There is a girl in Hyderabad by name Vanaja. Your Rajendra knows. She teaches yoga to all the cinema actresses. They send the car to her house. She goes to the actress, teaches yoga. Within 5 years, in the posh locality called Jubilee Hills in Hyderabad, she bought a house for 2 crores of rupees. 5 saal mein, only 5 years. Yoga is greatly in demand. She taught yoga to the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. Today, weekly twice, early morning flight, she takes from Hyderabad to Delhi, goes to the President of India, teaches Pratibha Patil how to do yoga. And what is her income? Within 5 years, 2 crores, she bought a house and so many other things, cars, bungalows, everything else. Yoga is in demand. All the actors, what is the age of Amitabh Bachchan? Rajinikanth? Still they are smart, young, jumping, dancing. Actresses, Hema Malini, how beautiful she is still today. What is the secret? Limited food. Number of times less, and yogasanas. Now the boys are here. Whom do you like most? Actress. Secretly you can tell me. And one boy says, sir, that girl is very beautiful, sir. That heroine is very attractive, sir. And I will ask that boy, my dear young boy, do you want to marry her? He will say, what nonsense. I will not marry that girl, sir. If she gives money, I shall go with her to Ooty. I shall go with her to Kashmir. But marriage, chichi, I don't marry that girl. Because beauty alone is not sufficient for marriage. The girls are seated here. Same question I ask. Do you like that actor? Yes, sir. Do you marry her? Chichi. Who will marry her, sir? He has a dozen wives. Actor and character do not go together. Actor is actor. He's handsome. He's attractive. He's charming. He's irresistible. He's mesmerizing. He is captivating. Everything is wonderful. But for marriage, that is not sufficient. So physical personality is not cent% personality. Something else you want. And this girl said character. We come to the second part of personality. First part, physical. It is necessary. We must be handsome, we must be attractive. Swami Vivekananda went to America. He reached America on the 31st of July 1893. 31st of July. May 31st, 1893, he left Bombay Harbor. He traveled by the ship. He traveled via China, Hong Kong, etc. By the time he reached Chicago, it is full 2 months. May 31st, he left India. June 30th, 1 month. And July full, July 31st only he reached. 2 months, 60 days he traveled. Now we fly. In those days, he took a ship. He traveled by ship. He reached Chicago on the 31st of July, 1893. And in Chicago, he was walking in the streets. People were surprised. What a great man. His turban, his saffron robes, his projected eyes, his wonderful demeanor, excellent personality. People were surprised. Then he went to a lodging house, booked a room, unburdened himself, had his breakfast, went in search of the office of Parliament of Religions. He told there, my dear friend, I am from India. I am a monk sannyasi. I want to take part in the Parliament of Religions. Then the clerk there said, sir, the Parliament of Religions originally is scheduled to take place in the month of August. But sir, it is postponed to September. And all the registrations are over. Who are the people to speak? The list has already been prepared. Therefore, you may not get a chance to take part in the Parliament of Religions. But you please give your name. I shall put it in the waiting list. You come back on the 9th of September. If you are lucky, you will get a chance. Otherwise, you have to go away. But sir, you have a wonderful personality. It may get you a chance. Swami Vivekananda was disappointed. What shall I do till the 10th of September? Sir, where are you staying? He told the name of the lodge, Taj. How much are you paying? Per day, 3,000 rupees. Do you have 3,000 into 60? So much money have you brought? No. Then the clerk said, my dear young man, you are very handsome. I am sorry you may not get a chance. I will give you a piece of advice. From Chicago, go to Boston. Boston is a small town. About 6 hours train journey from Chicago. You vacate your room, pack your luggage, go to the railway station, book a ticket, board the train. 6 hours later, you will reach Boston. There, room rent is only hardly 100 rupees or 200 rupees. You can maintain yourself till the 9th of September. Come back. Try your luck. You may get a chance. Vivekananda went to the room, vacated the room, went to the railway station, bought the ticket, boarded the train. In that compartment, there are 8 people. Swami Vivekananda got the window seat. He sat in the window. He was looking at the sky. He was looking at the treetops. He was looking at the stars. He was absorbed in his meditation, silence. In that compartment, how many are there? 8. One is Swami Vivekananda. Another is an elderly lady of 65 years. Her name is Miss Sanborn. M-I-S-S, Miss, S-A-N-B-O-R-N, Sanborn. She is 65 years, unmarried, spinster. The remaining 6 people are American gentlemen. Indians are short, Americans are tall. Indians are brown, Americans are white. Indians wear clothes like me, Americans wear the full suit, necktie, coat, shoes, first class watch, etc. 6 people are American gentlemen, 1 lady, Swami Vivekananda. On the platform there are people, young boys and girls, just in the evening they come to enjoy sightseeing. Boys look at girls, girls look at boys. But they will silently see. When the boy is looking elsewhere, they will see. Boys straight away look, shameless. Girls carefully, silently, they will look. Each looks at the other. It's quite common. The people were going about. When they came to the compartment of Swami Vivekananda, they stopped. Wonderful personality. Vivekananda is not a boy. Vivekananda is not a small girl. He is a grown-up man of 30 years with his turban, and all the people, Americans, and it's a cosmopolitan city. People from all the countries are available, and these people were surprised to see this wonderful personality. 5 feet 7 inches only, Vivekananda, not 6 feet. But his tall turban makes him look taller. His saffron robes are very attractive. He looked, everybody looked at him. Some people came, entered into the compartment, looked at Swamiji top to toe once again and went out. All physical attraction. He did not say a word. He did not speak, he did not smile. He was looking at the sky. After half an hour, the train started. The 6 American gentlemen were observing Swami Vivekananda. The train moved. Half an hour journey was over. And American 6 people broke the silence. One of them broke the silence. Normally Indians, as soon as they enter the train, they talk to each other. Where are you going, sir? How many children do you have, sir? Where is your elder son, sir? Where is your younger daughter, sir? Do you have them married or not, sir? In my house there is a bridegroom, sir. Do you have a bride, sir? In my house there is a bride, sir. Do you have a bridegroom, sir? We begin to talk. But in America, they don't talk. Unless somebody introduces them, they don't speak to each other. But now, 1 hour journey is over. People were coming, looking at Vivekananda and going. One of the American gentlemen became curious. He became jealous. 6 people we are sitting, nobody looks at us. And this man came from India, saffron robes, sannyasi, everybody is looking at him. Sannyasis are not new in India, in America. Many Buddha bhikshus were going. Saffron robes were available even in those days. Now only it is difficult to get the visa, passport and all that. In those days, no difficulty. Sannyasis could go very easily. They can go even without a ticket. Trains are open to them. And no visa, no transport. Anybody who had money could buy the ticket, travel by the ship and go to America. In those days, pre-independence. Now it is difficult. And the one American gentleman looked at Vivekananda and he said, "Excuse me." Vivekananda came down. He was looking at the sky. "Yes. Sir, I have a question. You may ask." And the American gentleman said, "You are shorter than I." "Yes, sir." "You are of brown skin." "Yes, sir." "You don't have a watch." "Yes, sir." "You don't have the tie." "You don't have the suit." "Do you know the cost of my suit?" $1,800. "My watch costs $700. My tie alone costs $300. My shoes cost more than $1,000. On my body, I have material worth $5,000. I am tall, I am white, all the six of us, but nobody is looking at us, everybody is looking at you. What is your speciality? What is your greatness? What is it that makes you attractive? We are gentlemen, nobody looks at us. You are a stranger, everybody looks at you. What is the difference? This is the question raised by the American. Then Vivekananda looked at that man and said, "Sir, it's a wonderful question you have asked. In America, in England, in European countries, to make you look like a gentleman, you require a tailor to stitch your pant, shirt, coat, etc. And you want a washerman to press it and make it smart. You require a cobbler to make your shoes. You require a barber to give you a haircut and a makeup. And you require an orderly, somebody should come behind and give you the coat so that you can put it on. Half a dozen people should work hard to make you look like a gentleman. But sir, in India, sir, to make us gentlemen, only one is enough. Character makes us gentlemen. In America, dress makes you look like gentlemen. We are gentlemen, character. And the 7 people were surprised. I told you a lady is there. She clapped. Sabash. Very good, young man. Where are you going, sir? Boston. Do you know anyone there, sir? No. Where do you stay there? I do not know. Depending on whom are you going? I am confident God provides me place to stay. Then that lady said, "My dear young man, I am 65 years old. I am like your mother. You are hardly 30 years a young, handsome boy. You come to my house. You will be my son. You will be my guest. Atidhi Devo Bhava. I shall take care of you. When you have character, you are welcome everywhere. Nobody hates you. Nobody drives you. Nobody suspects you. Nobody throws you out. Character is acceptable to everyone. This character is the second personality. How to build that character, sir? Next question. First I told you physical personality, how to build. Food, exercise, sun god. Now character is very good. To become very attractive, to become welcome, to become very powerful, you must have character. How to get that? In English, there are 3 words. One is honesty. Honesty. I was coming from the ground floor, climbing up the staircase to this place. While coming up, I found 100 rupee note. I picked it up. I wanted to put it in the pocket. But I looked Chawla ji is present. What does he think of me? This fellow, he has come from Hyderabad. I thought he's a good man. He's a dishonest idiot. He is taking the 100 rupee note and putting in his pocket. He would misunderstand me. Therefore, I did not put. I looked up. Rajendran is looking at. It is still more dangerous. Then Tara Didi is looking at me. Then I said, better not to take it. They will think I am dishonest. Rajendran ji, some student must have lost this 100 rupee note. Please give it to the student who has lost it. I gave it to Rajendran, 100 rupee note. Now, am I honest or dishonest? I am honest. Now, what is the time? Nearing 5 o'clock. How long do I speak? For another half an hour or 20 minutes. And afterwards, you all go away. Rajendran also goes away. Nobody is there. I am alone sitting. At the end, I was climbing down the staircase. Chawla ji has gone. Tara Didi has gone. Rajendran has gone. Principal sir has gone. Everybody has gone. I found one more 100 rupee note. What do? I look this side. Chawla ji is not present. Rajendran is, I put it in the pocket. While coming up, I am honest. While going down, I am dishonest. Why am I honest? Because I want to create an image that I am a good man. If somebody is present, I am honest. If nobody is present, I am dishonest. In your school, examination, question paper, answer script, objective type, ABCD, teacher is walking up and down. You are very, very careful. Teacher has gone to the veranda to take a cup of coffee or tea. Then what? Hey, what is the second question? A or B or C? The moment the teacher comes, silence. I am honest when there is supervision. I am dishonest when there is nobody. I am afraid that my image will be lost. I want to build the reputation that I am a good man. Then it is called honesty. It is a virtue. It's a good quality. But it is out of a fear. Fear that I will lose the image. Fear that my reputation will be lost. Fear that I will be called a thief. Fear that my teachers will make me debarred. Therefore, I am honest. Suppose the teacher is away. Even then, I don't copy. All of you have gone. I find the 100 rupee note. I don't take it. If I take it, it's not my money. Then what should I do? Technically, legally, if you find rupee on the road, you should go to the treasury, submit it. It is government money. Take a receipt for it. And the treasury officer will laugh at you and you cannot spend money to go to the treasury. Then what should you do? You take the 100 rupee note, put it in a temple or church. No, that is also difficult. Give it to a beggar. Give it to a poor student. No, sir. Don't take it. Why should you take it? Are you taking a chocolate wrapper? No. Don't take it. That is integrity. What is that word? Integrity. Honesty is a virtue. Integrity is a positive virtue. Even when there is no supervision, even when there is nobody to check you, control you, if you continue to be a person of integrity, moral value, then you are a man of character. Then there is another word, confirmed virtue. Suppose you are quarreling in your classroom, 40 students in 9th standard. Teacher comes, why are you quarreling? Sir, that boy has beaten me, sir. One boy says, No, sir, he gave me the beatings first, sir. No, sir, he bet me first, sir. No, sir, he bet me first, sir. Then the teacher will say, you keep quiet. At the end corner, one boy is silently sitting. You come and tell me. There are 40 students. She asks only one student. 39 students are not given the chance. Only one student is picked up. Why? She has observed that student for 5 years, 6 years. He has been consistently good. He has been persistently a boy of honesty, integrity. He has confirmed integrity. Harishchandra is confirmed man of integrity. Mahatma Gandhi's integrity is confirmed. Swami Vivekananda's integrity is confirmed. I have no faith, sir. That servant maid is working in my house for 20 years. She has not taken anything. She is confirmed. And then we call that word probity. Probity. Honesty, integrity, probity. Honesty is a negative virtue because you are afraid. Integrity is a positive virtue because you have a conviction. I should not copy. And repeatedly, when you maintain that good quality of integrity, society recognizes Mahatma Gandhi is a man of character. Satya Harishchandra is a man of truthfulness. Swami Vivekananda is a person of character. How do you develop the physical personality? Food, exercise, and sunrise. How do you develop character? Honesty, integrity, and probity. Can we do it? If we do it, then it is character. Then that lady asked, my dear young man, you speak of character very good, fine, excellent. But sir, what do you mean by character? Can anyone give the reply? What do you mean by character? Honesty, a part of it. Integrity, a part of it. Probity, a part of it. What is character? Swami Vivekananda is traveling by the train, that you should not forget. 6 people are listening, you should not forget. And that lady is asking the question, what is the meaning of character? Swamiji says, character is very simple, madam. Yes, what is that? What you think, that you speak. What you speak, that you do. That's character. What you think? You look at a girl, very beautiful girl. But when she comes close, hello sister. Brain में क्या है? Mind में? Beautiful girl. I want to marry her. But when she comes close, my dear sister, there is this distance. That is not character. If you are strong, if you are bold, what you think, that you speak. Morning, 7 o'clock, somebody comes to your house, knocks on the door, you open the door, and your dad says, come on sir, welcome sir, waiting for you sir, please sir, take your seat sir. Hey wife, get 1 cup of coffee for my friend. I am really waiting sir. I want to talk to you sir. You are like a guest sir, you are great God sir, come sir, please sit sir. He will say all the things, but in his mind, you idiot. Why do you come early in the morning? There is no milk in the house. We are not ready. I have to go out. You come and sit in my head, on my head. There is contradiction. When you say, you speak sweetly, but in your mind, the opposite. Then you don't have character. Character means your thoughts must be expressed. And you must be strong enough to translate into action whatever you say. I shall come at 5 o'clock in the evening. I must go. I say 5, I don't go there. Then I am not a man of character. 3 levels. What you think, that you speak. What you speak, that you do. If you maintain this consistency in thought, word, and action, then it is character. When she listened to that, she was very, very happy. Swamiji, you are really a great man. Please come and stay with me. And she was further talking to him. Next, she asked another question. Swamiji, you come from India? Yes. In England also people speak of sin, sin, sin. What do you mean by sin? S-I-N. Swamiji said, very simple, madam. Secret is sin. If the husband has some secret without the knowledge of the wife, he is a sinner. If the wife has something secret, sinner. There should not be secret. Sir, why do you say my headmistress is a great sinner, sir? Why? She is taking all the question papers, sir, putting in the bureau, sir. Secret, sir. So she is a sinner, sir. That is not secret, that is confidential. Question papers must be kept confidentially. National secrets are confidential. How many tanks we have, how many officers we have, how many armies we have. It is a national confidential matter. How much money you have, it is confidential. Confidentiality is different from secrecy. Then, wife and husband sleep in the bedroom, it is not secret, it is private. You go to the toilet, it is not secret, it is private. We go to the bathroom, there is no secret about it, it is private. Privacy, confidentiality, and the third word, secrecy. All the three are different. Privacy, everybody knows. Confidentiality, question papers, bank accounts. But secret is sin. What is the character now? Not to have a secret. Transparent, open. There is nothing to conceal. My life is an open page. Mahatma Gandhi's life is an open page. Anybody can go to him. There is no privacy which is to be concealed as a secret. If you take bribe 10 rupees from under the table, it is secret. Secrecy is a sin. Now, second dimension of a personality is moral character. That's what you say. What is moral character? Consistency, transparency, openness. This is the second dimension. Third dimension. Mahatma Gandhi is a puny man, lean, thin. During the independence struggle, he was arrested many times. He was taken to the prison, placed behind the bars. And one day, he shouted, Vande Mataram. Police people caught him, took him, put him behind bars. And the case came up for hearing. Gandhiji was being brought to the court hall. In those days, the judges were foreigners. College principals were foreigners. Police officers were foreigners. Collectors were foreigners. Magistrates were foreigners. This foreign judge with that white wig was seated. Because Gandhiji was coming to the court hall was jam-packed. There were 10,000 people. And everybody was waiting for Gandhiji to come to the court hall. The thin man, no upper garment, no shirt, no shawl, shaven head, long nose, bespectacled, and walking stick, pocket watch, country chapel, wooden surface, And when he was walking, his chappal was creaking, his stick was hitting the wooden flooring, and he was entering. Gandhiji was an accused. He was a prisoner. He was not tall. He was not stout. He was not strong. He was not handsome. But when Gandhiji was coming, the first person to stand and offer pranams, offer respects, was the British judge. Why did he offer his pranams? Character of Gandhiji. Moral value of Gandhiji. Mahatma Gandhi is great today because of his character, because of truthfulness, because of his consistency, because of his simplicity, because of his modesty, because of his straightforwardness, because of his frankness, because of his openness, because of his transparency. And Gandhiji came. Swami Vivekananda is like that. Gandhiji learnt many lessons from Swami Vivekananda. Subhash Chandra Bose was a disciple of Swami Vivekananda. Aurobindo Ghosh was a disciple of Swami Vivekananda. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru praised Swami Vivekananda. Rabindranath Tagore said, there cannot be another person like Swami Vivekananda. There is nothing negative in him. There is only positiveness in him. Rabindranath Tagore praised Swami Vivekananda, and he is a man of character, moral value, moral value. And when do you prove your moral values? This is very important. There will be temptations. There will be people to offer bribes, spoil your character, always. Swami Vivekananda was known for his propriety, he was known for his integrity, he was known for his moral uprightness, truthfulness, goodness, kindness, etc. He was a powerful speaker, an excellent orator, spellbound. Silently people were listening to him. People were listening to him in rapt attention. Swami Vivekananda was lecturing in Chicago. Wherever he went, there were hundreds of people, thousands of people listening to him. There would be 4 or 5 speakers. Last speaker would be Swami Vivekananda. The advertisers would say, at the end, Swamiji would speak. All the people wait for Swamiji to speak. Such a powerful speaker he was. After the lecture, the men and women surround him for autograph, for questions and answers, for a clarification of doubts. One day, Swami Vivekananda completed his speech. He came out of the hall. About 20-30 people were around him. And then Swami Vivekananda was clearing their doubts. One girl, very beautiful white girl, American girl. Her skin was like monumental alabaster, white, tender, about 20 years. She was fascinated by Vivekananda's handsome features. Very young man, attractive man, handsome man, intelligent man, powerful speaker. And so she said, "Sir, yes, can I talk to you privately, sir?" She said. Okay, no objection. Shall we go to that greenwood tree? Swami walked, the girl followed. The remaining people left because they were talking something private. The girl and the man were seated or standing under the greenwood tree. The girl looked at Vivekananda. Turban, shoes, shoes, turban, turban, shoes. 3 times up and down, she looked at him, and then she said, "Sir, sir." She showed one finger. Swami could not understand. She said again, "Sir." She showed 4 fingers. What is it you are telling? He could not understand. "Sir." She showed 3 fingers. What is it you are telling? Sir, you don't understand the language of the school girls and college girls, sir. You must understand our language. When I show you one finger, I. When I show you four fingers, L, O, V, E. When I show you three fingers, Y, O, U. I love you, sir. If a girl says so, what will be the reaction? Swami, I see. Why do you hesitate to say I love you? There is nothing wrong. My mother loves me. My brothers love me. My sisters love me. You too love me like a sister. You too love me like a mother. What's wrong? Then what else? See the reaction. When you are a person of character, you think differently. You think nobly. You think righteously. You do not have a foul thought. Don't have an unfair thought. That's moral value. He said, yes, then what? Swamiji, not in that sense I love you. Then in what sense? Then that girl tried to say this time, that time, he could not understand. Finally she said, Swamiji, yes, I want a son like you by you. I want a son like you by you. Swamiji thought, I see. What is the guarantee that it will be a son? It may be a daughter. 2. What is the guarantee the son will be like me, intelligent? He may be an idiot like you. What is the guarantee that the son will be handsome like me? He may be ugly like you. Okay. You presume that you will have a son. You have to conceive. You have to carry the child in your womb for 9 months. Deliver the baby. Bring up the baby. Educate the baby, and the child should grow to be a man of 30 years. I am now 30 years old. 12th of January 1863 I was born. Now this is October month 1893. Roughly 30 years I have now. You have to wait for 30 years to get a son like me. Why do you wait 30 years? Your desire is to have a son like me. Why like me? I am your son. I am coming with you to your house. You are my mummy. I am your son. Moral character. When you are a person of moral character, you think differently. Temptations will not be there. So physical personality. Next, moral personality. Then you have ethical personality. Morally you are good, but you don't help anybody. You are sound. You don't steal anybody's money. You don't copy in the examinations, but you never help any beggar. You are not a human being. Then there is difference between morality and ethics. Morality is to follow the strict code of conduct. Ethics is to love the fellow human being. You help the poor people. You help the needy people. You serve the needy people. Therefore, it is called ethics. Humane means kindness. Humane means concern. Being is a being whichever has life. Rat is a being, cat is a being, dog is a being, man is a being. Being means life you have. Human being means kind-hearted, concerned, loving. Rational being, thinking. Social being, living in society. We are called rational beings. We are called social beings. We are called human beings. And to be a human being is our most important duty. That is our ethical excellence. Swami Vivekananda, became a global personality on the 11th of September 1893. You know that remarkable speech. Let Rajendran work out a competition on the 11th of September, Universal Brotherhood Day. That day, he stood up, sisters and brothers of America, people clapped. It fills my heart with joy unspeakable to raise in response to the warm and cordial welcome which you have given us. I thank you in the name of millions and millions of Hindu people. I thank you in the name of ancient order of monks. I thank you in the name of mother of religions. He spoke only for 5.5 minutes. People were surprised. That day, all the rich people in Chicago went to his room. They took gifts. They carried shoes. They carried sweets. They carried clothes. They carried hats and caps. Every precious gift they carried. Swami Vivekananda was in his room. Till 11 o'clock in the night, they went on giving. Food was ready. Cushions were ready for him to sleep. All of them left at 11 o'clock on that day. Now Swamiji was alone in his room. There is food to eat. There is a bed where he can sleep. But that man did not eat, did not sleep. That night he wrote a sentence. Him I call a Mahatma whose heart bleeds for the poor. When thousands and lakhs of my fellow human beings in India do not have food to eat, what right do I have to enjoy this delicious food? I shall not eat. When people in my country do not have a bed to sleep, what right do I have to sleep here? He rolled on the floor and wept. He collected money, brought it to India, established Ramakrishna mission to serve the society. Him I call a Mahatma whose heart bleeds for the poor. Mahatma Gandhi went to Tamil Nadu, in Madurai. His talk was at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. For the sake of Gandhiji, thousands of people came, all poor people, all villagers, dark body, no shirt, no shawl, in the hot sun, in the month of May. They were all waiting for Gandhiji. During those days, Gandhiji looked at them. When so many fellow Indians in India do not have a shirt to put on, what right do I have? That day he removed the shirt. Later on he never wore the shirt. Gandhiji's statues everywhere are without an upper garment. Him I call a Mahatma whose heart bleeds for the poor, and that is humanism. Second sentence that night he composed. Him I call a Duratma. Him I call a traitor. Him I call a Drohi. Him I call a scoundrel who, having been educated at the cost of millions and millions of poor people, does not think of them, does not live for them, does not love them, does not serve them. If we are studying, the building is built by the mason, coolies. If we are eating, the people are working in the fields. What is it we are doing to them? We are enjoying the ACs. We are flying in the aircrafts. We are going to foreign countries and indulging in the pleasures. Are we able to be of some use to the fellow human beings? Ethical. Ethics is service. Ethics is humanism. Ethics is love. So first personality, physics, physical personality. Next, moral personality. 3, ethical personality. Finally, you have the spiritual dimension. In the Mahabharata, Sri Krishna was the messenger of the Pandavas. Kauravas were living in Hastinapur. Sri Krishna was going to Hastinapur and he sent a message to Duryodhan. My dear Duryodhan, Monday morning, 10 o'clock, I am coming to your capital. I shall deliver the message of Dharmaraj. Be ready. Duryodhana convened urgently a meeting on Sunday in the evening. All the citizens came, all the ministers came, all the officers came, and Duryodhana told, tomorrow Krishna is coming at 10 o'clock. So what? When that Krishna comes, nobody should stand and respect him. Nobody should offer pranams. He must be insulted, he must be humiliated. Let him come and go. If anybody disobeys, I shall behead. In the entire court hall, there are 10,000 people. Monday morning, 10 o'clock, Krishna came, and at the entrance of the hall, there were two watchmen. They dropped their weapons, touched the feet of Krishna, prostrated themselves at the feet of Krishna. Welcome, sir. Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir. Good evening. Next two people. When Krishna was walking in the aisle in between the two large crowds of the hall, everybody fell at his feet. Everybody offered pranams. And Duryodhana looked at them. 9,999 people were standing and respecting. The only man to sit was Duryodhana. How many people can he kill? He looked at everybody. These fools do not know how to disrespect. When everybody is standing, it does not look nice for me to sit. Therefore, Duryodhana also stood up. Everybody was greeting. He too greeted. That is a spiritual personality. When Gandhiji went to the round table conference, people were astounded. They welcomed him. We should not demand respect, we must command respect. If somebody out of fear respects us, it is demanding. If somebody out of real respect gives us the pranams, then it is a spiritual personality. Sri Krishna, Swami Vivekananda, Mahatma Gandhi, and a host of great people have a physical personality, moral personality, ethical personality, and above all, spiritual personality. We shall try to develop the 4 layers of a personality: national personality, social personality. There are small personalities. Totally, if a man wants to command the respect of everybody, one should have physical demeanor, moral uprightness, ethical sublimity, spiritual splendor. You young boys and girls, don't expect somebody to become a model to you. Unfortunately, the elders are not able to present a model life. You become models. You become exemplary. India requires men and women of personality. Otherwise, we become still worse. We are going to die. You are the support, you are the pillars. Why, sir, you are transferring the responsibility? Otherwise, you will be living in hell. There will be no jobs, there will be corruption, there will be killings everywhere. You cannot uphold the glory of this country. India is a rich country. It has had a glorious past. It's an excellent heritage. It had a very great culture. This is the country in which Gita was born. This is the country in which Rama was born, Krishna was born. Great emperors were born, Buddha was born, Mahavir was born. Such a great country should not go to dogs. We must uphold the glory of this country. This is the place of Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Ramana Maharshi, Chaitanya Prabhu, Mirabai and others. There is nobody now to remember. You from the schools and colleges have to come and let us imbibe the spirit of Swami Vivekananda. As a man of moral uprightness, ethical excellence, and spiritual sublimity. Above all, physical health, strong you should be. Conviction you should have. Moral uprightness we must uphold. And above all, ethically we must be excellent. I expect every young boy and girl coming and listening to this talk to go back with 4 words: physically strong, morally strong, ethically strong, spiritually strong. Then it is full personality. May you be blessed. May you have the personality development. Come to Vivekananda Yoga Kendra. Learn the yogasanas, learn the morals, practice the morals and practice the character. And when you are strong, you overcome the fear, your behavior will be better. Strength, 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 attraction, attraction everywhere. Let us try to uphold that great personality of this country. Thank you very much for listening to me for an hour and a half. It is 5:30. Thank you.